Hello, I am Sarah, head of marketing at Toge Productions, an indie game development and publishing studios based in Indonesia. And today I want to share with you a heartwarming stories about how a bunch of adorable rescue cats changed my life and inspires me to make an impact in my community. And this is one of my Devcats, Tompel. Say hi, Tompel. And this is Marcelino. He and his sister Michelle was abandoned by his owner, so now we're taking care of him. And this is Mimi. Mimi loves to what is it in English? Like basically he always looks for my earlobe and you know. Guess I'm not gonna start recording at all.
Now let's wipe that off. Mm.
And this is kunyit. Kunyit means turmeric. Kunyit. So originally I was not a cat person, but now some people from the industry know me as the crazy cat lady because I have around 15 cats at home. And that does not include the street cats that don't want to live inside the house but come to my house every day for food and belly rubs. And each of my cats has a story of their own, but most of them they were rescued during the pandemic. So during the pandemic, I noticed a surge in families adopting cats for their children to play with because they cannot play with their friends or go to school, and I think that was the case in my neighborhood. So many families adopted cats for their children and expected their children to take care of them, but like these kids had no knowledge of taking care of their cats, and the parents also don't care much about them. So once their children got bored playing with the cats, or when the kittens had grown big and not so cute anymore, they just abandoned them on the street and like not nurtured, not knowing where to get food, and this increased number of street cats, causing them to scavenge for food at people's houses to survive. Um, but again, like not everyone is a fan of cats here. Plus, there's no such thing as animal control here in my neighborhood or maybe in my country. So we had to stock on cat food at home because I have a cat which I brought from Toge Productions to my house, and I also had another cat which I found inside a trash can nearby the studio and now just living their best life in my house. And despite me having a dog, all the street cats they just kept coming to my house for food, and like two of them even gave birth in my house. So I guess that's how I suddenly turned into like crazy cat lady. I actually feel really sad to see all those cats who used to live in a warm of a home and then having to find food from a pile of trash. Like, thankfully, the pandemic didn't affect my studio much, so we were still able to make games and sell games. And I was once also helped by like fellow game industry friends when my cats got feline panleukopenia virus. Some of them they sent me donations for the vet bill, and I am truly grateful for them. So I decided, like, okay, I think it was time to give back to the community and also to the cats that had brought so much joy and also give purpose to my life. Now I'm using a part of my monthly income to nurture street cats in my neighborhood. I also offer help to those who have a female cat, especially and not having the budget to get them nurtured. I will be happy to help them with what I can. And to be honest, cats have sort of become my goal to work hard, because like they bring me laughter, they bring me comfort, and they keep me company every day, and they're just so cute. Well, most of them, and they have become a great part of my life as well. And the most important thing is that I want people to know that, what is it, like, cats are not toys, and that you you cannot just buy or adopt and then thinking like, oh, they can just live on the streets if we abandon them. Like, no, that's not it. So to anyone considering adopting a pet, remember that animals, they are not temporary amusements. They are living beings deserving love and care. And if you bring a cat into your life, be prepared to provide them with a safe and loving home for their entire life. So let's be kind to cats. Together we can make this world a better place for all living creatures, especially for our feline friends, one paw at a time. Okay, so Sarah and Tompel signing out. Bye bye. Kenapa Tompel? Kenapa? Kenapa?
And I closed my eyes, feeling lighter and lighter.
those tender, adorable creatures had to resist their charms. Mocha, what are you doing? If you ever seen your cat do these things, don't panic. They are not broken. They are just being cats. I'm sure you've seen it on the internet a million times. A cat staring at a fixed point, swaying its body back and forth before executing a masterful leap. Cats have an extraordinary innate ability to assess and calculate distances, heights, and trajectories. That timing, as well as the swinging we see them do, allows them to adjust their position, but also to calculate the force needed to make a precise jump. To be able to make all these calculations, they use their tail, which acts as a counterweight to maintain stability. Their binocular vision, which allows them to calculate depth, their vertical pupils, which adapt to the amount of light and allow them to focus on close objects more clearly, and finally, their whiskers, which allow them to measure the width and position of objects with respect to their own body. Have you ever seen your cat make a sheep or goat-like sound while watching a bird or insect? This sound, known as chirping, is a feline behavior that remains quite mysterious. We know that it is almost exclusive to domestic cats. However, why they make these little noises is still a topic of discussion among feline ethologists. It is clear that these sounds are linked to the hunting instincts, as they only tend to do so when they see a possible prey. However, why do only domestic cats make these noises? Some ethologists say it is a combination of excitement and anticipation for the hunt. Others say it is a sound of frustration because there is a window between them and their prey, or because their prey is too far away. And finally, others say it is a way to mislead their prey by making noises that may distract them. No, it's not a game bug. If you don't have a cat, you may wonder what the hell happens to Mocha after going to his little box. And if you have a cat and you've never seen him doing something like that, you're lucky you didn't have to clean up the result. This shuffling motion helps them to get rid of whatever is stuck to them, thus cleaning the area and relieving the discomfort. But this is not the only reason. Sometimes this behavior also occurs when they feel pressure on their anal glands, when they feel irritation in the area due to skin problems, or when they have intestinal parasites. And that is all for today. We hope you liked it, and tell us if you want a second part.
Hello, ladies and gents. I'm Can Oral, the creative director of Cultic Games, an Istanbul-based independent game development team specializing in narrative games. Throughout this video, I'll be presenting our latest game, Cats and the Other Lives, to you, while also talking about our vision and design principles behind the game briefly. We define Cats as a narrative experience that explores the homecoming of a broken family from the perspective of their house cat, Aspen. Our design approach to the controls and gameplay was presenting a simple yet intuitive point-and-click playstyle, taking inspiration from adventure game classics while modernizing some of their archaic elements and therefore ensuring that nothing comes between the player and this story of a family spanning 4 decades. Cats is a game that you play only with the left mouse button, but it can still offer puzzles, challenges, chase sequences, a one-item inventory system. You know, cats can't carry that much stuff. A track send feature that lets you locate different family members inside the house and more. But let me talk about what makes Cats and the Other Lives unique and what makes us thoroughly excited about this game from day one. Aspen is an ordinary house cat. Not an anthropomorphic entity or a magical being as we are used to seeing in other similar mediums. She is just a regular house cat like mine and probably yours. So to us, every action that our little feline would take should have made sense both as part of an animal's everyday existence and as a catalyst to the dramatic structure of the Mason family saga. Shortly, this is not a game about a special cat. This is a game about how special cats could be to our lives. 2 years ago, this idea definitely sounded cool to our ears. But it turned out to be a truly arduous task when compared to other narrative games where the motive of the player is much more opaque, or the player character can actually talk, have a clear goal, or some kind of narrative agenda. In our case, Aspen affects the lives of the Mason family indirectly by acting within the boundaries of naturalistic cat behavior and without the family members even knowing about this. In this particular scene, a character called Barnes is interested in buying the Mason Manor, and he visits the house himself to have a final evaluation. But he also happens to be allergic to fur. As Aspen, the player makes his coat fall to the ground with regular cat mischief, and eventually manages to lie on this new, clean coat from the outside world. Then at a certain point, we make the family members open the windows, creating an air current inside the room, therefore making Barnes feel cold and go for his coat. You can imagine the rest. This sequence buys a few more days of time for the Mason family to finalize their decision of selling the house. So, was it the player who guided the cat to achieve this outcome? Or was the cat just following her instincts as usual, yet somehow mysteriously causing this result? Or are all cats actually like that and have some kind of special role in our lives without us even knowing about the possibility? There is much to tell, but we encourage you to seek your own answers in the story of a cat and a dysfunctional family. Thanks for your time and interest.
Unbound.